Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I am sharing with you my thoughts about a recent e.l.f. purchase that I made. I was in the market for a concealer and things may have gotten a little bit out of hand, so I ended up with a few more things than that. So let's go ahead and jump in. So like I mentioned, I was on the hunt for a new concealer. I have used up my Maybelline Instant Age Rewind. I had used up the ColourPop one that I had at the start of the year, and I had finished off my Tarte Shape Tape sample. I've been working with this ColourPop concealer, but for some reason, I'm finding that this one seems to be oxidizing on me more than I remember they had oxidized in the past. So I was thinking to myself, like, these don't last very long. I would like to see if there's something else that I can sort of play with and maybe like get a feel for. And immediately the e.l.f. one popped into my head. I'd heard a lot of buzz about the e.l.f. one. I had seen a lot of videos where people used it, and I thought, like, wow, this looks like a really nice under eye concealer. So I went onto the website and they had most of the colors in stock, but I will not lie, I find it incredibly challenging to figure out my shade match online. So I ended up purchasing two because I was like, well, they're not that expensive and I don't really quite know the color that I am, and they're not always in stock because I have gone on the website in the past and like they've been out of stock. So I was like, I'll just go ahead and get them. So I picked up Fair Rose and Fair Beige. They don't really look super different in my opinion, even in person. I will go ahead and swatch them for you. So this one down here is Fair Rose, and then this one here is Fair Beige. Like, really? Do you see a difference? I don't. But what I will say is that these are like ghostly on my face. When I tried testing out both of these individually, I would look at myself in natural light like later in the day, because again, I get ready before the sun is up. I'm getting ready at like 5 o'clock in the morning, and until we do daylight savings time, it will basically be dark out until 7 at this point. So when I would see myself in the mirror like at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I'd be like, whoa, like like you can clearly see that there is a distinctly lighter shade happening. And I am always more critical of my appearance than I would probably say the average person is, but I just thought like it was a stark difference between this foundation that I have on my face and like my concealer. So I don't know what struck me to think of this, but I was thinking to myself like, oh gosh, Goldilocks moment, these are too light, the ColourPop is too dark, like what will I do? I've wasted, money at this point. Granted, not a lot of money, but like I can't return these. And then I thought to myself, mix them. Mix the ColourPop with one of these and see what you get. And that is what I have done. I am mixing Fair Beige with the ColourPop. It is high maintenance. It is a pain in the butt. I don't love that I'm doing it, but it is working out. Like when I have it on my eyes today, I don't think you look at me and go like, whoa, girl's been putting on some brightening under eye concealer. Like, I think it looks decent. Maybe I'm wrong. Tell me in the comments below, but maybe don't. Like, let me have this moment, please. And it's helping me get use out of these products. I have not tried mixing it with Fair Rose, but based on the swatches, I feel like it wouldn't matter. And it is working. It's not ideal. I wouldn't want to go this route the rest of my life, but for now it's working, because I'll also admit that these are really good at not sinking into my fine lines. Granted, I do put a little bit of a filler underneath, but even when I would do that with the ColourPop one, by the end of the day, I did have some fine lines popping through, but this is so much more resistive. So I do find that this is definitely a creamier formula, and it does do a good job filling in those spaces. It also lasts really long throughout the day. Like, it is really good. So I think a lot of the hype that surrounds this is worth it, and I think if you can find a color shade for you, then it would work. I don't know if I should have gone to the deeper shades. I would never consider myself to not be a fair person, but maybe I am. If you guys have more experience with these colors and like you assess my face right now, let me know what you think I would be, because I wouldn't be opposed to buying an actual shade that really matches me. I'm just not going to keep living the like mix 3 life. That's not my dream. But for now, it's working, and I'd prefer to do that versus buying a brand new concealer because I have spent money on these already. And while I was poking around on the site, I decided to pick up another one of the e.l.f. mix to match adjusters in white. These sometimes go out of stock, and I never know when I'm going to use this or when I'm going to need it. So I've gotten into the habit of whenever I do place an e.l.f. order, I just throw these into my cart, and again, they eventually get used. I think I'm getting to a point right now where what I have left in my foundation collection is a good match for me, but again, you never know, so I do have this and I love this stuff. It is the most bang for your buck when it comes to a lightener, and I will countlessly buy these over and over again. I also came across an interesting product that like totally I think is unnecessary, but I bought anyways. It is the Mask Off Sponges. Basically, it says, create a spa experience in your bathroom with these reusable mask removal sponges. Just add water and watch them expand into soft, gentle sponges that remove masks, cleanse, and gently exfoliate your skin. It just was interesting to me to try these because right now I take a washcloth and I wet it and then I wipe off whatever mask I'm working with. It kind of sucks to do that because I go through our washcloths so quickly and it just seems so unnecessary. So when I saw this, I was like, this could be the cure. So I have not tried these yet, but I am looking forward to it. There are only 2 in here, so I'll be curious to see how long they last or how many like mask removals I can do before these basically crap out. So stay tuned for a trash talk to see if you'll see these pop up, because I will put it in there once I have like reached the max usage that one of these sponges allows. Speaking of sponges, I also was able to get like 2 free items with my purchase. e.l.f. is always doing some kind of special, so I tossed in this makeup sponge. I was like, what the heck, like I'll try it, see if I like it. It's such a fraction of the price compared to even Morphe, so if I love it, how great would that be? I don't love this. I feel like this is such an absorbent sponge. It absorbs a lot of water and puffs up to the point where over the course of 24 hours, it doesn't fully dry out like my Beauty Blender does. And it also sucks up product, a lot of product, and like waters down the coverage in a way that I don't like. Like I like the somewhat natural, even coverage that I get from the YSL. It's not like the Tarte Amazonian Clay foundation that is like super thick that I would love to tone down. So I was finding that like I was starting to see like some of my redness popping through when it would never pop through, and I was needing to pump out way more foundation than was typical, and I'm not looking to waste foundation more than I have to in a sponge. And the Beauty Blender sponge, in my opinion, doesn't suck up a ton of product. Yes, it does suck up some, but not enough to make me have to do a 3rd pump of foundation the way this did. So this is not hanging around in my collection, and no love lost because I didn't actually spend any money on it. The other product that I picked up, I like don't 100% know what struck me to do it. It was a setting powder. I own from e.l.f. already the e.l.f. Make Me Matte. And I'm fairly certain that I'm a moron for buying this because your girl has dry under eyes. Like I have dry under eyes, and I do set my under eyes with a little bit of powder, but I try not to use that much product. And 2, most of the powders that I have don't advertise themselves as being like a mattifying under eye powder. And this stuff is like matte on a level I never knew was possible. It is night and day difference when I wear this. And I don't wear it very often because again, I have dry under eyes. I don't need that level of matte. So I saw when I was poking around the website that they have since come out with a Halo Glow setting powder. And I think curiosity just like got the best of me, and I was like, I wonder if that would be the opposite of this matte one. And if so, would I like that? So sure enough, I have been using it almost every day since I got the order in the mail, and I am very much loving it. It is what I have underneath my eyes right now. I feel like it gives like the tiniest sliver of some shine, but not like highlighter shine, just more like a lit from within like glow. Like it's re-enhancing the hydration underneath my eyes and making them look less like the Sahara Desert, which naturally is what happens because again, I have dry under eyes. Not sure if you know, but I have dry under eyes. And it's not similar to the Becca one in the sense that like it feels like I'm putting on water. It feels like I'm putting on powder, but it really does a nice job just looking luminous without being highlighting. And so I'm really liking this. I think it's really effective for my particular need. So if you're somebody who suffers from the dry under eyes the way I do, then I would suggest this. I do think that it is lovely and helping with the longevity of my concealer. And I'm again surprised that it just worked out, that this worked for me. And I am now going to declutter the Make Me Matte one because this even further confirms that I do not need something like this thanks to this one. The last thing that I have for this e.l.f. haul is the other free item that I picked, and that was the White Pearl highlighter. When I first heard White Pearl and I saw it online, I thought like, oh wow, maybe that could be the white Becca highlighter I've been trying to get but haven't purchased because they only offer it in the full size. Well, that is not really the case. You can very much see that this is a very pale gold, and I just don't love this. It is a relatively dry formula, and I just prefer much creamier pressed highlighters than this. I just think it's a little bit too dry for my liking. So again, no love lost because it is a free item, but I wasn't impressed with this. And truthfully, we have such an abundance of highlighters to choose from, even at the drugstore level or even even with e.l.f. I feel like they have a much better, creamier formulas than this. And so this was not doing it for me, and I would not recommend this. This is officially going bye-bye from my collection. All right, guys, that was the down and dirty of my e.l.f. purchasing that I did. Again, I would love to know your thoughts about any of these items if you have tried them, and I do hope that you're enjoying this like very unlike me but review style of these new products that I have recently picked up. If you are, good news for you, I do have a bunch of these that I have done, so I will link all of them down in the description box. And in the meantime, I'll catch you in my next video real soon. Bye.